Hello everyone. In this video, I will talk about some short thoughts on announcement, um, policies, and some introducements. Number one, first, the speaker introduce everyone to the new class, introduction to the economics, and then the textbook for that class were available at the university bookstore. However, uh, the price of textbook were a bit steep, and but the speaker thought is well worth it. So he wanted everyone bring it uh, to the next class. And then uh, the speaker introduced that in the new course um, two they had two exams, a midterm and final. Besides that, they could have they could have they could have to write um, uh, several short research papers. Number two, this is announcement about a new return policy. First, the manager announced on employee in the start that uh, they uh, didn't they didn't accept any item uh, without a debt receipt and uh, and check to make sure that all the return item uh, were in a condition, because in the past the store had a problem with the customer return uh, damaged goods. So uh, and after that, the manager remind that the store issue the store credits, not cash. So finally, uh, he wanted uh, he wanted every employee tell him if there were some complaint about that the policy. Number three, they gave a hospital announcement. First, the speaker introduced uh, the office, and then he remind that uh, if there were an emergency, please hand up and call for an ambulance. Uh, and if they good to make an appointment, please and ask for a medical advice. Please come back during the regular office hours, and it's open from 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, and 9 to 12 on the first Saturday of each month. So finally, the speaker remind everyone that they didn't accept the working in appointment. So everyone needs to make an appointment before. Number four, they get notified from the pilots. First, the plane would be landing shortly, so the pilots remind everyone on the plane that um, check to make sure all the seat belt for was fastened, and he wanted on the passenger turn up on cell phone and recording device. Finally, he wanted to know if there were anyone with small children. Uh, with small children need to have extra assistance, and if there anyone needs help to getting they have to get the they have to get into a connecting flight. Number five, this is announcement on the radio. First, the government official uh, remind on the city resident that to conserve the water by not fill the swimming pool or not water the garden until the further notice. After that, The government wanted all the city residents do this on the on the voluntary basis. If the situation was so serious, the fine were imposed, and finally, the speaker remind the listener remind the listeners stay tuned for on the latest update. Number six, this is a direction on the telephone. First, the speaker was thankful for calling the city hotline, and then he introduced on information source about the event. So he strictly spread one for the theater schedule and ticket order. If the listener wanted to get information about the museum, the foreign film series at the history, the informa- information on special exhibits, breakthroughs, and then if the listener wanted to get information about the upcoming event on the city stadium breakthroughs. So finally, if the listener wanted to speak to an operator, stay on the line. Thanks for your attention.